Sam Bergquist is a Boston-based songwriter, guitarist, and harmonica player whose music bridges Americana tradition with a sharp modern voice. A veteran of the city's 1990s music scene, he built his roots playing everywhere from clubs to subway platforms, even Logan Airport, developing a sound grounded in honesty and lived experience. From his years with the country blues band Loose Change to a string of acclaimed solo releases, Bergquist's songwriting dives into justice, doubt, and the complexities of modern life with clarity, depth, and understated wit. With his recent album release, Devils and Doves, Sam continues to craft songs that explore struggle, resilience, and grace, earning critical praise and a growing audience along the way. This is Sam Bergquist on Trading Tunes. Welcome to another episode of Trading Tunes, and we have a very special guest today. This is Sam. Welcome.
Hello. Good to be here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Want to tell us about your tune?
Yeah. This is a song I wrote a couple years ago, and it was on an album I put out last year. This was a response to an article I had read in the New York Times about people who are living on the streets, people who are sort of one paycheck away from living on the streets. And so I took some of these characters and created my own character from reading about these people, and I wrote this song. Yeah, it's called Here and Gone.
Okay.
So it goes like this. My name is Ellis Turner, and I've been around. I worked every odd job in every odd town. Stacked drill pipes for Exxon in the Gulf of Mexico. Drove a long haul truck with a 2-ton load. And I'm here and gone, I'm here and gone. I'm moving on, I'm moving on. I found me an angel in a desert town, in a jukebox bar, playing a Patsy Cline song. We got a little place, she was happy, I thought. Oh, but she was like me, she couldn't stay in one spot. And I'm here and gone, I'm here and gone. I'm moving on, I'm moving on. Later on in Albuquerque, I was doing pretty good. Steady work in a room, I was feeling like I should. But then I took one wrong step, and that led to two. Now my body is weary from the things that I can't undo. And I'm here and gone, I'm here and gone. I'm moving on, I'm moving on. Hitched a ride to Alamosa, I was living in a tent. And then the cops came and away I went. Now I'm here in Santa Fe, in the cold, in the snow. Thought I knew someone here, but now they're saying I don't. And I'm here and gone, I'm here and gone. I'm moving on, I'm moving on. My name is Ellis Turner, and I I gotta go. I'm here in Santa Fe and it's starting to snow.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That got me in the heart.
Man, what a cool tune.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You know, I think my favorite thing is the imagery. Does it snow in Santa Fe?
It does snow in
It
Santa
does?
Fe. I lived there for a
that.
very short period of time, yeah. And in the
Wow.
mountains around Santa Fe, it snows a lot. So yeah.
Wow,
But that's one of those songs. Yeah, you got to fact check some things.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make
yeah.
Sure that it's not, like Phoenix or Tucson or something. Then
The desert.
like the storytelling in that is just phenomenal, and the when you're doing the harmonica and then the who's at the end really, to me, really kind of do a nice job with setting the mood of what the piece should feel like. That's really great.
Thank you.
Earlier you were saying we should play along. It's like I was thinking, man, I just want to listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to live on its own.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those songs that, it's simple and it needs to be simple, that kind of story, kind of song.
Telling a truthful, soulful story.
Yep.
About
Yeah.
somebody struggling, even though they're working full time,
Right.
and they're still not making ends meet.
Yep.
And then they think, well, I'm just here and gone.
Mhm.
It's like a flash.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just beautiful.
I got into playing in that open D. I think maybe four of the songs on the album were in that open D, and playing something in trying different things. I hadn't written any songs in open D in a long time, but sometimes that can just open up. It's like picking up an instrument you don't play very often. It just kind of creates a different sound. You start playing different rhythms. You just start doing different things, and that was I wrote that. I was part of a songwriting group with a guy named Peter Mulvey a couple years ago, called Mulvey's Elephants, and that was one of those. I was telling Julie before that I'm in a songwriting challenge right now, and being part of a group like that, really, that kind of structure helps you to
You have accountability.
keep producing. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
Got to bring
Yes,
something new.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah. I like playing in altered tunings for the fact that I just don't know the chords. I just go by shapes and feel, and you discover a new way to play, and it's refreshing.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally relate to that. Yeah, you gets you out of your routines, which is really
Yes.
important.
The tried and true, what we always go to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's so great. I should try it sometime.
Well, you're able to just let go of everything you know or have to know.
Yeah.
But John is analyzing everything all the time. He's like,
Right.
oh, there's a minor four.
Yeah,
We're in the
it's-
grocery store.
Right. When you're hearing the
One
tunes,
to
so
the
you're-
flat seven. It's like
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but whether that's a good thing might be another conversation.
Yeah, I
But
think.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, developing your ear is great, but like you're saying, Julie, not knowing what chord you're playing can
Yeah.
sometimes be a good thing.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, you're not thinking, okay, this is the next chord that would logically go here. You're just playing by feel.
Yeah, creatively, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
It's fun. This song is called Wonder, and I wrote it when I was just thinking, like, how much do we miss in life because we're just focused on the daily, the grind, and there's so much magic just around us all the time. We just don't even pay attention. So this is sort of paying attention. Beauty in small things, blade of grass finds strength to grow through the concrete cracks. Even a seed planted upside down still finds a way to grow up through the solid ground. Open your eyes. don't look around, you'll never be found in wonder. I spin around you while the moon swirls the sea as we spin around the sun. Gravity unbreakable, is it any wonder? Wonder, wonder. Beauty and power, the wind I can't see has the strength to light up a city, a river digging a canyon only by flowing, never abandons its duty. Open your eyes. If you don't look around, you'll never be found in wonder. I spin around you while the moon swirls the sea as we spin around the sun. Gravity unbreakable, is it any wonder? Wonder, wonder. Beauty in this moment, living and breathing, embracing life, counting our blessings when the days pass in a flash. Time marches on. Can we live in this moment and not in the past? Open your eyes. If you don't look around, you'll never be found in wonder. I spin around you while the moon swirls the sea as we spin around the sun. Gravity unbreakable, is it any wonder? Wonder, wonder. I spin around you while the moon swirls the sea as we spin around the sun. Gravity unbreakable, is it any wonder? Wonder, wonder. Yay. Thank you. Thanks. So we have a song we're going to do all together?
Yeah, so,
Do you need a chart for it?
I think I'm okay.
Okay.
And do you have a guitar that's in?
Yes, I do. We can share it around.
Do I sound like I'm in tune with you guys? You play a D. That sounds pretty good.
Oh, wait, are we in a different key then?
What key you doing it in?
I have E.
You're in E. If you give me a
Are you in
capo.
D?
What key do you do it in?
This is in D.
Oh, so we need to go down.
If think it's an E, a D. Yeah. All the crap I learned in high school. It's a wonder I can't think it all.
I deliberately didn't play it because I'm like, I just want to see what happens on the
Sure,
camera.
see what happens.
Because I could be bad.
Well, sometimes people say, you know, oh, that was so bad. You know, they use it in a term like it's
In a good
really
term.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
It's funny
almost.
because if you say that was ass, that was a bad thing.
Uh-huh.
If you say bad, then that was a bad thing.
Right.
But if you say bad ass, it was a good thing.
How did that happen?
Oh, that was badass. This
Two
guy is
negative, make a
badass.
positive.
Right.
No, but I think my son, who's
But if you flip it
26, he
around-
said if something is ass, that means it's good.
No, yeah.
Isn't it? I don't know. Who knows?
know. So-
I guess
yeah,
it depends
I
on
guess-
who's saying it and how old they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do we want to do the speed up?
What do you mean, the speed up?
There's a thing where
Well,
at the end where
At
it's,
At the end?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I think-
Yeah. Now the question is, do we want to fade at the end, like he does? Maybe we'll just fade it out. That's what
Okay.
he does. I always figure, how do you end this song? It's really, it just kind of.
You could just go 2, 3, 4, 1, bum, bum, bum.
And end on that. We could just end on the.
Cha-cha-cha.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just end on that.
Yeah.
You just follow me.
Yeah.
Is it on the E minor?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to just try the whole thing?
Yeah.
And you've got the harmonies?
Yeah. Or you
Okay,
could add
good.
one if you
No, I was actually, the thing I was messing me up was I was looking at the chords in the wrong key.
Oh, right.
And
Yeah.
like
That's,
I was either singing the right harmony note or playing the chords,
Yeah.
but not both.
Okay.
it's like
So-
tapping your head and
Yeah,
rubbing
yeah.
your stomach at the same time. Yeah.
It's fun to learn a song on the fly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got it this time.
Okay. We good?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. When I think back on all the crap I learned in high school, it's a wonder I can think it all. And though my lack of education hasn't hurt me none, I can read the writing on the wall. Go to Chrome, give us those nice bright colors, give us those greens and summers, makes you think all the world's a sunny day. Oh yeah, I got an Nikon camera and I love to take photographs. So mama, don't take my Kodachrome away. If you took all the girls I knew when I was single, brought them all together for one night, I know they'd never match my sweet little imagination, no. And everything looks worse in black and white. Kodachrome, give us those nice bright colors, give us those greens and summers, makes you think all the world's a sunny day. Oh yeah, I got an Nikon camera, love to take the photographs. So mama, don't take my Kodachrome away. 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 Mama, don't take my Kodachrome. Mama, don't take my Kodachrome. Mama, don't take my Kodachrome away. Mama, don't take my Kodachrome. Mama, don't take my Kodachrome. Mama, don't take my Kodachrome away. Mama, don't take my Kodachrome. Leave your boy so far from home. Mama, don't take my Kodachrome away. Mama, don't take my Kodachrome. Mama, don't take my Kodachrome away. Mama, don't take my Kodachrome. One more time. Mama, don't take my Kodachrome away.
2, 3, 4, 1. All right. It was a loosey-goosey ending.
Loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
That's fine. That was fun.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Happy
Yeah.
with it? I am
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go down the list and John and I will tag team.
Let's go
Sure.
down the list. Okay.
Do you remember the first song you wrote that made you think, oh, this is actually me? And what changed after that one?
Well, I can tell you the first song I wrote. I mean, I didn't actually write it because I was only 10 years old and I wasn't into writing. But I mean, I used to make up little ditties in my head when I was younger. And it's funny because I was a teacher for years, I was telling you before, and I used to sing this with my students. But it actually went like this. I can sing it for you. It went, we come a long, long way. We come a long, long way. We come a long, long way. We come a long way. We come a long way. We come a long, long way. That's the tune right there.
You taught
So
that to
it's
your
not like I
students?
sat down and wrote that down, but I used to just make up
Yeah.
little songs.
And
So
you were 10, you said? Or younger?
when I was 10.
10.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
10 years. So you were destined to do this.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, if anyone would say we're going to sing a song, I'd say I'm not. I mean, my sisters would be singing in the car all the time, and I'd be like, "Shut up! I don't want to hear
Right.
you sing." You know. So it was like kind of like a boy reacting to singing. I wasn't into it, but the reason I know about this song is because that was back in the day. You know, we got a tape recorder for the first time before tape recorders were a big deal, and it was me just singing somewhere, because I discovered this years later when I was an adult. I just found it, like me singing into the tape recorder. I don't remember doing it, but I found this, and there were a
Do
couple
you still
of
have a copy of it?
I think I do.
That,
Yeah.
I think that needs to find.
I've
a
got
way
it there, and
onto
there are
one
a couple
your
of
records.
songs on there.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So maybe
So.
you never had a point where you didn't sound like you.
I don't know, and that's funny because I'll write a song and I'll be like, yeah, that kind of. I'm still writing songs kind of like that.
That's amazing.
You know.
That's really
Yeah.
neat.
Okay, when you sit down to write, what usually comes first for you? Lyrics, chords, melody, or all of the above, or is it a feeling that you're trying to chase? What's your process?
Oh, boy, I mean, it's always changing. You know, I use the voice memo thing. I'll just, like when I was a kid, singing in the tape recorder. I'm trying to capture that, really. I'm trying to get at something. If I try to sit down and write a song about a thing, it doesn't work, generally.
Oh, really?
You know, I have to I'll just start playing a riff, and then I'll get a word that I think sounds cool. And they'll be like, based on that word, something will develop, and then I can write from that. One thing I've been doing recently is taking a topic and then just turning on my voice memo and almost like I'm interviewing myself, just start talking about the topic.
Yeah,
And then
that's
I kind of learned this trick from Jeff Tweedy. I read a book that he wrote about songwriting, and then I'll just go back to what I wrote. I'll just take that and transcribe it, and I'll pull certain lines from that.
Okay.
But it has to be about a specific topic. It's
Yeah.
not just me rambling. It's just
Right.
a topic. So, yeah.
Is that how you came up with the song from the New York Times?
I don't remember that one. I think it was just picked up guitar and started singing, "I'm here and gone, I'm here." What could be about here and gone? You know, sort of like a rambling, song about. And then it's like, okay. And I think it was right around that time I was reading that article, and I thought, okay, this could be song about a character, and I can write about from that character's perspective. So,
It's neat
but
to
yeah,
hear how
yeah,
they evolve.
yeah. Songs are funny because I will write a lot of times I'll write a song and I've heard people say this, once you have sort of the gist of it, it can come very quickly. It's just getting the rhythm of the words and and it's like, then it kind of writes itself once you have that in place. And then, so I can get a lot done, but then it's like the fine details sometimes can take months to figure out, you know. And I'll write a song and I'll think, oh, that's a really great song. And then the next day I listen to it and I think, what was I? That's horrible.
It sounded so good yesterday.
It sounded good last night, but
it was good yesterday.
right.
You can always rewrite them. I do like that.
Yeah.
But then how do you know when it's finished?
I don't. I'm still. Yeah. I had a song that was on my last album, and it's changed since then. I mean, like really, like I added a bridge to it, like really changed, you know. So sometimes I keep hearing a song and I think, you know, that can get better.
Yeah.
I mean, do you find that?
process.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So can you name a handful of songwriters that really sort of hit you like as like a major influence?
Well, growing up, Jackson Browne was a big influence.
Right.
I love Jackson
Me
Browne.
too.
So he was big. I listened to a lot. I grew up in the 70s. My family had a lot of Simon and Garfunkel records and Joni Mitchell and Cat Stevens and Dylan, of course, you know. So those kind of great songwriters from that time period influenced me a lot. But there were also, you know, a lot of bands that I was into. So it wasn't just singer-songwriters. I mean, you know, you were talking about playing Steely Dan. I mean, I enjoyed listening to Steely Dan. Yeah. And I enjoy, you know, growing up, I listened to more traditional, like blues singers, you know, Howlin' Wolf and you know, and a lot of the early Dylan tunes kind of brought that world to me, you know, Lead Belly and those guys. So
Do you write blues, like the blues form?
I do, yeah. I do have some blues songs, or, you know, like drop D tuning, those kind of songs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm not a blues singer. I'm not a blues writer, but my music is definitely influenced by blues music. So, yeah.
So what about now? What are you listening to these days?
You know, I should pull my phone up.
Your Spotify
I have
playlist?
songwriters have become sort of mentors to me. You know, I was an elementary school teacher for 30 plus years, and
Amazing.
before that, I was writing songs, a lot of songs. And then while I was teaching during those years, I played music with my students, and I was in a band called Loose Change. We played around Boston for years. And then since
I remember hearing about that band,
Is
actually.
it originals or covers?
we did originals and covers,
Okay.
yeah. Mike Costello, do you know Mike Costello, harp player? Really good harmonica player.
Yeah.
But yeah, we played around. We were together for 15 plus years, and then I have since come back to songwriting, and I've been playing with local musicians, recording with them. But I've also kind of gravitated towards people I felt could be real mentors for me. So, you know, Ray Bonneville.
I've heard his name.
So Ray, I've gotten to know Ray a little bit I was just out in New Orleans at the Folk Alliance International Conference.
Wow.
Kind of tagged around with him, you know, he pulled me around on his leash and introduced me to
wonderful.
people. And he's just a great, you know, he's a great songwriter, and he's been around. So he's been an influence on me. Another guy named Jackson Emmer, who's a songwriter in Santa Cruz. I did a songwriting class with him, and I've gotten to know him, and he's helped me out a lot. So those guys, they've influenced my songwriting. I love Sierra Hull, for one. I think she's amazing, her songs.
We first heard you were performing at an open mic night over at this venue called the Fallout Shelter over in Norwood.
Right,
and that was, and we were playing at the same thing. We were hanging out, listening to you, and you really stood out in so many ways. The main thing was that the tunes and the lyrics were like really vivid, and you had a way about you that really put it across to people. And in a setting like that, I feel like it's really hard to stand out. You know, because
There's
a lot of
of
people are
good
doing,
people that play there too.
They
Yeah.
are. Yeah. Thanks.
And you're a cool person too.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah.
Cool too. And I should say, so those of you out here who don't know, these guys played on a song that's on my album that's coming out. It's coming out next
this
month,
when's-
in a couple of weeks. You know.
Okay, nice.
March
Oh,
13th.
fantastic.
Yes.
So
We're
how-
going to put all your links. in
Okay,
the
Friday the
video.
13th, the ominous Friday the 13th.
Nice.
So that's
luck.
So
coming
what's
out,
the album called?
It's called Devils and Doves.
Devils
So,
and
yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
and you're listing it as Sam Burrquist as the artist, or
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
going to be available where?
You know, it's on streaming platforms.
Any of the streaming
platforms.
Anywhere where you find.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Nice.
yeah. And I think I might put it out on vinyl. We'll see. Vinyl's expensive these
Sure
days.
It's
is.
expensive.
It sure
So,
is.
but we'll
And
see.
you don't want a
yeah.
stack of it at home.
No, I've got plenty of CDs. So
We got two.
Yeah.
We got a whole room
Yeah.
of it. All right, so you actually do study songwriting. It sounds like you've had teachers and mentors and groups. So is there any songwriting rule that you were taught that you later said, actually, I'm going to break that rule? Or completely ignore?
I think I don't know if this applies to songwriting, but I think it does. I think it applies to just being a musician in general, which is, I told you I was spending time with Ray Bonneville, one of my mentors, a couple weeks ago in New Orleans, and he was telling me, I was one of the showcases that I was playing there was a Cover Your Friends showcase, so it was singing songs that your friends have written.
Oh, cool.
So I was going to cover one of his songs, and his songs, usually they're mostly 3 chords. They're not super complicated, but he sings them in such a way that his phrasing is really hard to match, and he plays harmonica, just amazing harmonica. I got a little intimidated, and I told him, Ray, I'm not playing your song. So the next day, we were having a beer together, and he said, I've been thinking about what you said about not wanting to play my song. He said, you should play that song. What he was saying is, go for it. Don't hold back. And I really took that to heart. And I think that's true with songwriting is don't limit yourself. Just take risks. Don't kind of just
true.
fall
We
into
gotta
like,
fall
I don't
in
want to
the
do
niche.
that because it's just not going to work. Just,
Right. Like I'm
Yeah.
folk or I'm indie or whatever.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
don't
so
limit
smart.
yourself. So,
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I feel like I feel like I've written my best stuff when I stop worrying about whether people are going to like it.
yeah, exactly.
Right, because we have these rules like if you're going to do a hit song, you got to get to the chorus by 30 seconds or a minute, under a minute. You got to have the title in the chorus and all these things. And I feel at 53 years old, I'm just so lucky that I'm playing music and writing, and I really don't care about any of that stuff. I really just want to write stuff that I like.
Yeah, I think that's a great rule.
Did you play the song?
I didn't play the
Oh, you
song.
didn't?
No, so I didn't. It was actually that day I was going to play it, and I didn't have the lyrics in my head. But I think if you had told me a week earlier, stick with it, I
You
probably would
would've
have done it.
Yeah.
Do you think?
But
it
I
was
did. I
opportunity?
did that. I did a different showcase there where I played a song that I had just written, and I wouldn't have played that song if I hadn't taken that to heart. I said, you know what? Just go out and play it. You don't have to know it
Right,
100%.
right.
I think
Yeah.
that's kind of the spirit of what we're doing here, right?
Yeah.
It's partly just
Yeah, just throw it together.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
beauty of,
yeah.
playing with a friend you've never played with before. It's like, let's just see what we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you talk about a song that was hard for you to write emotionally, and was it ultimately worth it?
Yeah, I wrote a song. My dad passed away in 2018.
I'm sorry to hear
And
that.
I wrote a song called I Got Lucky. It's called Lucky. It's a song about being lucky. And I wrote that song the morning of his memorial. I didn't have anything that I wanted to say. I wasn't up for speaking at his service. And so I went out under a tree and just came up with this song that I don't know that it was hard to write. I felt like I had to write it. So I wrote it. And it was it helped me, and it helped a lot of other people who heard it. And that song was on my last record that came out last year. I also have written a song about my mom recently, about how she met my dad. So those are kind of the ones, they're emotional songs to write.
Sure.
But those are the ones that a lot of times end up being the good ones because you got to push through that
You gotta
and do
pull
it.
it right out.
Yeah, that's
Right.
right.
The
Yeah.
feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, Julie has a couple of those.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Yeah.
I had this one song that I just woke up in the middle of the night, just kind of heartbroken with my situation, and I just wrote a bunch of things. It wasn't a poem or song lyrics or anything. Just wrote in my phone, and then I kind of forgot about it, and then I read it later, and it just made me real weepy, you
Right.
know. And then I was recording a record in Nashville in 2012, and I thought, you know what, maybe it's time to make a song out
Pull
of
that
that.
one
Because
back,
I think
yeah.
I'd worked through all the emotions of the song. And so I wrote it with a friend, and then I was like, yeah, this is really good. I think this is a good tune. And then I tried to play it the very next day, and I just got all choked up. Like I couldn't, I ended up recording it, but I just always felt choked up, you know, when I was
Yeah.
singing it. And then I just kept singing it. And then I got to the point where, okay, I'm not crying anymore. But then sometimes people cry when they hear it. you
I
know?
did.
So it wasn't the writing that was hard, it was more the playing it was hard, or was the
It
writing
wasn't
also
like a
hard?
difficult, it was just, it brought up so many feelings as I was playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But people respond to that when you're playing a song and you're feeling it.
Yeah.
People
But
connect
I don't
to
have
that, right?
emotional response when I sing it anymore, you know, because I've kind of worked through it, you know. But
Yeah.
it's such an interesting thing.
Yeah.
You got to feel the feels.
I feel like music, it's interesting, especially in today's climate with so much going on, the healing power, like music cuts through, right? I mean, it really cuts through. And,
Yeah.
you know, I've found that's true, that playing songs to people, you know, who, you know, I might not agree with politically or whatever, we can agree on a good song.
Yes.
You know,
Sure.
so,
Isn't that
yeah.
true?
It's funny because I was having a conversation with somebody recently, and one of the things we were talking about was why would anybody want to listen to a sad song? You know, it's like if it just makes you sad, why are you listening to it? Like, you know, and one of the things that I was telling him was that, well, in my case, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes to get to that place is really hard, and if I'm listening to a song that's really sad, it kind of helps me get there. You know,
You can't
like
just
if you
keep
really,
pushing
yeah.
the things down and
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
feeling the
right.
feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a stoic Irish family where you don't feel anything, you know,
Right.
nothing ever. And, you know, of course, that's got to come out somewhere,
right.
you know.
Right.
So, and then the other night we were watching the Olympics, and then Andrea Bocelli has the nerve to sing Nessandora.
Oh, I saw that.
Roma. Oh, my God.
So
I
beautiful.
sobbed
Right,
throughout the whole
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Jeez.
what you're saying is like beauty is not just happiness, right? There are a
No,
lot of sad
that's right.
things that are beautiful,
Yes.
and you have to get to that. You
Yes,
know?
yeah.
When that time period when my dad was dying, I had several trips back and forth cross country. You know, we were talking about you coming from Washington, so back and forth from Washington, and I just remember hearing songs that just. I started crying on the plane, and you know, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, what's going on with that guy there in that seat? But it's because those songs made me reflect in a way that was about, you know, the beauty of my dad. So,
And it's
yeah.
healing. So when you're singing about your father or your mom, or do you frame it? I mean, you're telling us, but how do you put it? Make a private situation public, like in a song. Is there? How do you balance that?
I would never present a song that I don't think that would make someone feel uncomfortable. I mean, I would
Yeah.
check with someone first before I do that. So,
Can I tell all your bad, dirty secrets?
right. But you know, it's also one of those things, and you hear this story from songwriters all the time, that someone afterwards will say, I'm so sorry about that. And I'll be like, that wasn't about me, right? That wasn't me. That was just something I'm making up, you know,
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
you know. So there's always that side too, that just because you're singing about something doesn't mean you might be taking the perspective of a different character or something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I recently saw an interview with Bruce Springsteen. He was talking about that. He's like, all those stories about all those people that
right.
look at my friend, none of it's true.
Right. So, right, all those people who are working all the time. I never
right.
worked a day in my life.
right.
I've just been playing music my whole life.
Right.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Okay, so what does collaboration in songwriting bring out that doing solo doesn't?
I honestly haven't collaborated that much. I wrote a song with Jackson Emmer, who I was talking about, and I've learned a lot from talking to other people. He writes songs all the time with other people. But as I was telling you, Julie, I mean, I'm part of songwriting groups. Mm-hmm. Right now, I'm part of a group called FAWM, F-A-W-M, February Album Writing Month. So it's people who are writing. The idea is to write 14 songs in the month. And most of the songs on the album that I'm releasing in March came from last February. I wrote them. Wonderful. There's, I think, 3,000 people who do it all around the country, and people post their songs and comment on them. So it is collaborative in the sense that people are listening to people's songs, commenting on people's songs, cool. Giving suggestions. So I think for me, that's where the important part comes in. It's really helpful to hear from other people what they think of a song, or if they have suggestions. It has to be at a point where it's not at the point of no return. I've already recorded it or something, but I find that that's really helpful. Just getting that perspective, other people's perspectives, because a lot of times they'll say, what are you saying here? Why did you do that? And then when I step back, I think, yeah, okay, I'm too close to this. I can,
right.
Yeah.
And we take for granted what the listener can interpret, because we know the story already.
Completely, yeah. Mm-hmm. Have you written with other folks much?
Yeah, I write with John.
We've written a bunch of things. Yeah, and I think we both collaborated with other people.
Okay.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Because it turns into something absolutely, completely different than I would come up on my own.
Yeah. And I think you have to have an honest relationship with someone where they're okay with you saying, I don't think that works, or not taking it personally.
Yeah, that's right.
Or having a way to communicate that's kind of accepted between two people.
Yeah.
You have to have someone who's good at communicating.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
You can't work with somebody who's always saying no, that they always want to control the thing.
Right.
And you can't really work with someone that doesn't speak up for what they want to hear. So it's finding a balance. But I can think about maybe one person that I've worked with where they just took it and just didn't want anybody else's feedback.
Right.
And, in that point, you just say, well, maybe they were just super inspired, But I like the collaborative. Where each person
me too.
gives a little bit. It sounds like a lot of your songs are storytelling, but do you write from personal experience, observation? You've made up stuff?
Yeah, I try and write different, just kind of what inspires me. Some of my songs are more narrative, like the song I sang today, but I'm just kind of writing from a lot of different. I try to be aware of writing different kinds of songs. Mm-hmm. So what perspective am I taking, when I'm writing the song? Like I said before, it's not necessarily about me, so I try and write from other perspectives. And sometimes I'm not even really thinking about it. When I'm done,
It is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah. One of the things that we were talking about working with Scarlett Keys, and one of the things that's been helpful for me is after I'm done writing a song, or other people who are being critiqued, she will sometimes ask just like the most basic question, which is, what was that song about? Mm-hmm. And if a person has a hard time saying what it's about, that's kind of revealing.
Yes.
Or sometimes they'll say what it's about, and it's as simple as, put that somewhere in the song. Like, how is that being? Because songwriting, sometimes it's you're not aware of doing that. You try and get all fancy,
and the words just flow. I mean, I've done that before, where I've just written, let it come out, wait for inspiration. But then people are like, what is this? What is this about? And then I ask myself, what is it about?
Right. Do you make time for songwriting, both of you?
Yeah, we do, actually.
You have a schedule? You have a routine?
Not recently, actually.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of changes with my work and things like that. I'm kind of now in the process of recording a bunch of stuff that I already had written. And same with John. Although we need about 3 more, too.
I think I consider myself more of a composer than a songwriter. And the reason why I say that, I don't want to limit myself and say I will never write lyrics. But I've taken, out of all the songs I've written, maybe 2 or 3 songs have lyrics that I actually don't completely hate. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've written songs, and musically, it's like I really like what's going on, but then the lyrics are like, oh, baby, I love sitting in the hood of the car with you. You know,
Yeah.
oh, baby, baby, let's sit in the hood of the car together for a while, and we'll talk. You know?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the actual lyrics from one of my songs.
Really?
It's good, isn't it?
Let me write that down. Hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Very good. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think in my case, part of it is, it has to do with just the music that I fell in love with when I was a kid. You know, a lot of the stuff that I listened to, I wasn't really paying any attention to the lyrics. I was paying only attention to what was going on musically. And that was the thing that fascinated me.
Right.
And now you
know.
write a lot of instrumental too.
And now I'm still writing instrumentals, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Compositions.
Yeah.
you know, but I get to hang around with you, write great lyric songs.
Right.
So,
John and I have collaborated on it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was listening the other day to Werewolves of London,
Oh.
and there's that one line, ran amok in Kent. And I love the amok in Kent. So I love the sound of
Yeah, just the sound of it, yeah.
sound of the way words work with each
Yeah.
other. I find songwriting in a way it's kind of like a puzzle in that way.
Like
So I'm
Sudoku.
always looking for alliteration. I'm looking for how words sound together. You know, how someone will say, like you said earlier, I thought that lyric was such and such a
Right,
thing. It was just
right.
the sound of the words together.
Yeah.
And it didn't really matter, right? Because it's like they just sound
They're
good
cool,
together.
Yeah, that's
So-
right.
I don't want to write a song that's like, Mary had a little lamb, his fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
Little Lamb, there's alliteration. Do you think
Little
that?
Lamb.
That's
Who
right.
wrote that song?
I do not know, actually.
Yeah, and
But that's more
speaking of
better.
Little Lamb, I just recently, a couple of years ago, my mom used to sing this song, Mary's a dozen, and Little Lambs eat ivy. Right?
Eat
I always
ivy,
thought it was just
too.
nonsense
Didn't you?
syllables. And then Julie slowed it down for me. Like, does eat oats,
Mares
and mares
oats.
eat oats,
And
and little lambs eat ivy.
Lambs
He
eat
was
ivy.
like, are
Yeah.
you kidding
Yeah.
me? That's
Right.
actually the song.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Couldn't believe
That's
it.
great.
Couldn't believe.
Couldn't believe it.
All right, so this is the last question.
Okay.
So, what advice do you have for a beginner songwriter? And that could be somebody who's just starting out with all of it, or somebody who's been playing and singing and then says, hey, I want to write my own songs. You know, what would you say to them if they're feeling sort of intimidated around that?
I would say just go for it. You know, I mean, I sang you my first song, right? I mean, it was just, you just start humming something and sing it. I think when you get to a certain place with your songwriting, I think learning a lot of other people's songs is really important. I play gigs. I play at Logan Airport. I have a regular gig at Logan
Really?
Airport where I
Wow.
actually manage gigs as well. There's a new program there. It started last summer. But I think I'm up to about 100 covers that I know. Like I memorized the lyrics to
Sure.
them too. But that process of learning a song and knowing a song, when you sit down to write a song, it's like, oh, I could try this, or I
Yeah,
could
it
try that.
informs
It gives
your
just
own
not just
writing.
lyrically, right, but
Absolutely.
melodically or chord changes, all of that stuff. So I think to a beginner, I would just say, if you know one chord, you can write a song or 2 chords. The first song I learned was "You Ain't Going Nowhere" by Bob Dylan, which is G, A minor, C. Same strumming. That was down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Clouds so swift. And I learned it quickly, and it was like, this is amazing. You know,
can
I
do a
know a
song.
song.
Right,
I
right,
love
It's
yeah.
so empowering to know one song.
Yes.
And it taught me, it doesn't take much to learn one song.
As a teacher, I've encountered so many students who've just learned little snippets.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my big thing. It's like, let's learn the song.
Yeah,
You
learn
have
the whole
such
song.
a feeling of accomplishment.
Yes.
It's just so huge.
I can't tell you how many songs for the first 2 years I played. It was down, down, up, down, 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 up.
Yeah.
It got me a long ways.
forget about
And then I was
30
like, okay, I
songs,
got to
right?
move into something a little different. But yeah.
Yeah, you know, and One question that I hear a lot is, how do I know when I'm finished, right? Which we talked about. But there's this whole thing. It's like, well, I don't want to write a song until it's really good. So one of the things I sometimes will tell people is don't be afraid to write a mediocre song, because there might be like you can write the song and then never play it for anybody.
Yeah.
And I know when I'm writing, not everything that I write is going to come out great. So if I write 6 tunes, I might like 2 of them, but now I've got 2 tunes.
I even put crappy songwriting session in my calendar. So
Yes.
if I'm not feeling like
Give yourself permission.
feeling doubtful or whatever. Okay, I
Yeah.
don't have to write a great song.
Yeah.
I just want to write something.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
so much
Well,
for
thank you.
sharing
Yeah.
with us
Yeah, I
and
appreciate
joining us.
you inviting me on your podcast.
Yeah.
It was
Thank
fun.
you. So how do we learn about you online? Where are you online?
My website is the best place.
Okay, which
I have
is?
music. It's Bergquistmusic.com.
Bergquistmusic.com.
Bergquist.
Okay.
Bergquistmusic.com, and you can find all my links there. I mean, I have music up. I have Instagram and Facebook
We'll
and that
Google
stuff.
you
but
too.
yeah.
Nice.
And
cool.
you can Google too.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
And you've got some gigs coming up. You've got more gigs at Logan.
You can come to Baggage Claim. I'll be playing there all the
Nice.
time. Do I have any? I don't have anything right now going. That's where I'm
But you
focused.
have a
that'll
record
change.
coming out.
I have this record, which is where I've been putting my energy. So I have that coming out.
Oh, I can't wait to
March
hear it.
13th, yeah.
Yeah, that
So
one tune that we worked on. What a killing tune.
You guys sound great. Yeah,
Thank you.
Sounds so good on that. Yeah,
What an honor.
Thank you.
yeah.
All right. Well,
Cool.
thank you for
All
having
right,
us on
thank
Trading
you.
Tunes.
Yeah, okay.
That was Sam Burrquist on Trading Tunes. If you're into songwriting, guitar, and real conversations about music, make sure to subscribe and follow along. I've got more episodes coming your way. Thanks for being here.